I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. They're fighting in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
And boom, here we are again. Hey, Adam.
Hey.
I don't know if we can handle 6 people watching right now. What do you think?
Right.
You think?
So yeah, let's do a few hellos. Hi, Austin.
Yeah. A few hellos. I know people, you know what, this was a last minute live again, so people really didn't know we were going live, and I don't even know who's live or not, but there's a lot of updates to talk to you guys about. So hello for all you 8 people that are watching right now.
7.
Oh, 1 left. Are you kidding? Really? Couldn't even
Probably
get past
Austin.
the part. It was probably Austin, wasn't it?
We called him out, so he left.
Oh, nope. Looks no. It wasn't Austin. Anyway.
Do you notice that Austin did not say my favorite 2 YouTubers? He said 2 of my favorite.
Yes. And Grandma watches. There's a dedicated right there. You're not going anywhere, right, Grandma? Hi, Aspen and Sunny. I'm here for you. Okay. Stay put. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, on your way in as well.
Right.
Okay. So the typical thing happened today. I was working on a video and stuff like that. And then I get a message from Adam, of course, saying basically like, what you doing? Pretty much. You know that means. Well, no, actually, I think you just came out and said it. Delphi update, which I had already had, but then I didn't have the actual paperwork. I just had from this Brian. No, was it Brian? No, Brian Enton. I can't remember. There was a couple of them. Yeah, I think it was Brian. I can't remember. Either way, then Adam had sent me those, so I inserted those into the video. So, there's 14 people now. I don't know what you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button at least.
Hey,
okay?
Outback.
Hi, Outback. How are you guys? Okay, so this is a multifaceted live. It's going to be about the Delphi update, Gabby Petito. It's going to be about that balloon. It's going to be about Nicola Bulley, the one in Britain that's been missing for 11 days. And it's going to be, yeah, and it's going to be about Lindsay Clancy. That was the mother that, we'll just say, unalived her 3 children, and she went to go unalive herself, and then of course that didn't succeed. And this is the one where the husband had said, please, don't basically be angry at my wife. She's a really good person. She was going through She had about 13 different prescriptions going on. She was postpartum depression, and et cetera, et cetera. So those are all the different things that we're going to talk about in this shorter live.
Right.
I don't know if I even believe that as I say that out of my mouth myself.
I would. I crossed my fingers and I winked.
Yeah. So before we get started, Adam, what I think I'm going to do here is, because we're pretty much YOLO here. I'm going to play the video that I just actually released, okay? Because that will have basically everything that we're going to talk about. And then we'll show some more footage of certain ones that we have for, because Nicola. Yeah.
Is it Nicola or is it Nicola?
Oh, it's Nicola.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we're going to, Lindsay Clancy was one that Alexa had sent me the update on just after I was done the video. So I decided to add it to the thumbnail, but it's not in part of this video that I'm going to show. I know short plus 2 hours. I have to do, it's just ask Lewis and Sunny tonight on there as well. So sad. Yeah. It's really heartbreaking to even have to, like I said, talk about these type of cases every day. And yet, that every minute of every day of every second that there's something happening in the world that's not a good thing. And there's a lot of good things that are going on in the world as well.
Well, I mean, not that it's not true crime related, but yeah. I mean, look at, I saw that there was that earthquake in Syria and Turkey, and the death toll was like 7,000 people. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I know we don't talk about like just all the news, but I was like, my goodness, Yeah.
When I think of earthquake, the first thing that goes through my mind is, you see, in Canada, we have very little of these earthquakes or tornadoes, or what do you guys call them? Cyclones.
Hurricanes.
Yeah, hurricanes. We have very little of that goes on. And so when it does happen, it's such a rare thing for us. But I remember when one happened in Seattle back probably in the 90s or early 2000s.
Oh, that tornado?
No, it was an earthquake.
Okay.
Because the one I'm speaking of it happened in Seattle, and this bridge just like this, and there's cars just hanging down literally on it, and some that have obviously gone through. Now, I literally...
Are you talking about San Francisco?
Yes, San Francisco.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's the one. And so you're right, San Francisco. And I remember that I was just literally getting out of bed. I was totally dog style. I was just putting my hands down, getting out of bed, and all of a sudden I felt dizzy. And I was like, what was that? And come to find out, it was because of that earthquake that happened in the USA that hit Vancouver. And that's always what goes through my head, is that cracked bridge where vehicles are just...
It was the Bay Bridge.
Yeah. So, and then, back a long time ago in the 80s, there was a tornado, I believe it was, a tornado that hit Edmonton, and it did some severe damage to a trailer park out there. So that was the first time that I ever recollected even hearing something, was the one in Edmonton, first of all, because again, it's just so rare. And I always said to myself, I'm glad I don't live in the USA, because all you guys ever showed, or when I was a kid, I remember, was Florida and all these typhoons or these things coming over. And that's all I kept thinking was, glad I don't live there. And that was probably most of the reason why I never wanted to ever live in the States, was because of growing up hearing those. What do you got going on there? Here, ambulance, fire truck.
I know, right?
Dogs. Sorry. Well, it's just because I was on the bed and I literally was facing that way. And then, okay. So, hi, Melissa. How are you? Grandma Watches. You got to change your names to Grandma Watches. Going that way. Yeah. Anyways, you guys. So I'm going to play the video that I just released, in a sense, and that way that will catch you up on the updates, okay, going on. Again, most people know of I'd say at least 3/4 of these stories. So let me do that, and then we'll be back. And this is about 12 minutes long, okay? You guys don't move. None of you guys move. Don't forget to hit that like button, but don't move. You guys stay here, okay? All right. So give me 1 second, and I always hit share screen. I mean to hit video file. Okay, so is it this one? I think so. 1 second here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hey everyone, this is Sunny Justice with It's a Crime and Shame. So I'm going to bring you up to date on a few things that are going around at the moment around the world. And we're going to talk about Delphi, Gabby Petito, the balloon that was taken down over Myrtle Beach, as well as the story that's ripping, of course, through England, which is the Nicola Bulley story. And of course, Nicola vanished about 10 days ago now, and there's no sign of what even happened to her. But before we get started, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. And if you could like and share this video, thank you so much. Okay, so let's get into it.
8-year-old mother of 2 went missing here in St Michael's in Lancashire. It remains and always has been our priority to find Nicola as soon as possible and to bring her back to her family. Her family continues to be supported by specially trained officers who update the family daily and support them in other ways. I want to take you through the unprecedented number of inquiries that the police team has been doing in the last 11 days. We've received literally thousands of pieces of information from the public, the wider community, Nicola's family and friends, which we've been combing through diligently. This means at the moment there are around 500 active pieces of information and lines of inquiry that we're working on to try and find answers for Nicola's family. We have a team of 40 or so detectives under a senior investigating officer working daily to comb through this enormous amount of information. This is normal in a missing person inquiry and does not indicate that there is any suspicious element to this story. The inquiry team remains fully open-minded to any information that may indicate where Nicola is or what happened to her. Some of the specific pieces of information and the lines of inquiry that they've been undertaking include house to house in the village, looking at CCTV, the various pieces of dashcam that have been submitted to the inquiry, identifying and tracing and speaking to key witnesses, a number of whom have come into the inquiry and been spoken to and given valuable information. Digital and telephony, this includes Nicola's Fitbit and her mobile phone, which has been fully examined. And we've now identified around 700 vehicles that drove through the village on that morning, on the 27th of January at around 9:10, 9:15. And we're in the process of speaking to all of those drivers to try and find out if they have any dashcam footage, what they saw on that day, or anything else that may be of value to the police inquiry. We remain very grateful to all of our partners and the wider community for the help they've given. In particular, and I've mentioned some of these in the past, this includes His Majesty's Coast Guard, Lancashire Fire and Rescue, Lancaster Area and Bowland Mountain Rescue, other forces and national experts in different fields, as well as the Specialist Group International, or SGI, who have offered their assistance to the family free of charge and have been working under the direction of our local police search teams to help us. Our work around the search of the river and the riverbank continues, and this includes many pieces of different technical equipment, including sonar, pole cameras, drones, and so on, as well as specialist dogs. As I said on Friday, the river is a complex area to search. It's not a still water, it's a fast-flowing, moving water that is tidal in parts. And as acknowledged by some of the many national search advisors and experts that we've been consulting throughout, this makes it particularly complex.
Okay, so prayers, of course, for Nicola, and hopefully they can find something. Okay, so obviously prayers for Nicola and her family. Of course, you guys all know that my husband's from Britain, and this is a very heart-wrenching case that there's nothing to show what happened to Nicola. So again, prayers be with the family and prayer. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Gabby Petito. Most people should know this case, but if you don't, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were traveling the van life. And then one day Brian drives home without Gabby Petito. Now, this led, of course, to a massive search going on, and thankfully for a YouTuber that had gone through the same area, had saw that white van during their own vacation, and then was able to promptly hand that over to the LE. Now, Gabby Petito's parents have released this photo. Now, Brian Enton has this on his Twitter. It says the attorneys representing Gabby Petito's parents have released this photo from her cell phone. Then he goes on to say how this was prior to the MOAB interaction. So although she's wearing the same clothes as that interaction to this picture, it's not of the same day. The Petitos are suing the police for the way that they handled the interaction. So again, prayers for the Petito family, and prayers, of course, always for Gabby Petito, and the fact that Brian Laundrie not only took her life and then proceeded to take his own, have left the families in shock and in despair. And it's just really sad cases that are going around this world, and it's unfortunate that we have to actually talk about these, but this is the kind of stuff that happens throughout the world on a daily basis, multiple times. So anyways, that's the update for the Gabby Petito case. Now we're going to talk and get into Delphi. Okay, everyone, now we're going to get into Delphi and the update going on there. So obviously the attorneys for the Delphi suspect, Richard Allen, awaits more information from prosecutors. Okay, so this was dated February 7th of 2023. So Delphi, Indiana, a lawyer for Delphi suspect Richard Allen on Tuesday asked the judge to delay 2 hearings. Allen, 50, of Delphi, was arrested on October 28th for the February 2000 unaliving of 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Liberty Libby German near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi. Attorney Bradley A. Rossi said that in the request that Allen's attorney have not yet received all of the information sought from the Carroll County prosecutor on the case. The rest of the information was expected to be received last week. Allen is being held on no bail. A hearing was set for February 17th to discuss whether to set bail for Allen. Also, a hearing was set for March 20th to prepare to get a jury from Allen County for the case. Rossi also wants the hearing postponed. Special Judge Fran Gull is handling the case for the Carroll Circuit Court. So, I think we can all safely say, of course, that this is just the normal things that go on as cases, and why these cases take so long. I seen it happen with the Barry Morphew case, same idea. You know, the defense wants this, the prosecutors, are saying, well, we gave this, and they're saying that they still need more, etc., etc., etc. So this is always to be expected. So, of course, that's the case update for Delphi that's going on. Okay, you guys, so this came in after I was finishing up my video. So I'm just going to insert this into this video. And of course, thank you, Adam, for sending this. And of course, thank you, Renee, for earlier sending me about the bubblegum balloon in the sky. So let's get into this with the state of Indiana, County Carroll, state of Indiana versus Richard M. Allen. Okay, so this is the defendant's motion to continue bail hearing and jury trial setting. Okay, so as it reads, Okay, so as it reads comes now the defendant Richard M. Allen by counsel Bradley A. Rossi and respectfully requests that this court continue the bail hearing and jury trial currently scheduled in this matter. In support of said motion, defendant Allen states as follows. 1. On November 21st, 2022, defendant Allen filed his petition to let bail. Said petition is scheduled for hearing on February 17th, 2023 at 10 a.m. 2. The defense has yet to receive the entirety of discovery from the state and therefore is not yet prepared to proceed with the bail hearing. 3. The defense anticipates receiving the remaining discovery by the end of this week. 4. Defense counsel believes that the volume of discovery is such that there will be not adequate time to review the discovery in preparation for the bail hearing. 5. Defendant Allen respectfully requests that the bail hearing scheduled on February 17th of 2023 be lifted and reset on a date and time convenient for the court and the parties. Defendant Allen also acknowledges that the jury trial is scheduled in this cause on March 20th of 2023. The exchange and review of discovery as referenced above will necessitate that the jury trial be lifted and reset on a date and time convenient for all parties. And 7. Wherefore, defendant Allen requests that both the bail hearing and jury trial dates be lifted and reset on dates and times convenient for the courts and the parties. And then, of course, this last one here is just simply the signatures. Respectfully submitted, Bradley A. Rossi. I certify that I have served a copy of this document by the county e-filing system upon the Carroll County Prosecutor's Office and Andrew J. Baldwin the 7th day of February of 2023. And so I just wanted to, again, insert that. Thank you, Adam, for sending me this. I had emailed, but I had not received the copy yet. So thank you very much. Now, the next story that we're going to talk about is about the big bubblegum balloon that was taken down near Myrtle Beach. So I'm just simply going to show you a few pictures of that, and I'm going to link the actual footage to the description of this video, and you guys can go check that out. So basically, of course, it's just pictures, of them gathering up that big bubble balloon that was in the sky that was taken down over Myrtle Beach. So anyways, you guys, that's all for today's updates. Again, please give this video a like and a share. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tonight on Just Gas Lewis and Sunny. Now, don't forget, that's about how to use StreamYard and go live with StreamYard and YouTube Studio. So thanks again for watching this video. Okie dokie. Right. So I put the link there. That's for the reason why I didn't really go much into the balloon is because when we did a simple live of it, anything that has to do with politics and stuff like that, and it went yellow the next day. So I actually just can't be asked sometimes to dive into those things, risking uploading a video and stuff where it goes yellow and then you have to wait a couple days and stuff like that. Just honestly not worth it. So I'd rather just drop you the link there. There's some great pictures there and some great video footage of that. And so correct. And thank you guys for that as well, because I don't know, Adam's hiding on me. He's the one that's asking to do the lives on this. Let's not hide on. Okay, and so there's hi.
I was trying to do a TikTok video while you were.
Is that real? So
with the monster, you get the.
I'm not even gonna lie, because as you had messaged me and said, "Do you want to do a live, whatever?" I'm like, all I'm thinking of is, dude, I'm sitting here in the middle of a video right now. I'm almost done it. I still got to make a thumbnail for it. Then I got to share it around to all the social media, blah, blah, blah. Then on top of that, then instead of asking you to do the thumbnail, I was like, well, there's no point in asking you to do the thumbnail because you don't know all the cases that I was going to put in that video. Right. So it just made sense that I did it. So then I had to go back around, make another thumbnail, and then, you know, upload that, share that, and then share that around thing. And all I'm sitting there doing is going, oh man, this is a lot of work all the time. And then Adam sits there and then comes back from this and says, yeah, I was just sitting there trying to upload a TikTok video. Yeah. Mind you, I did upload a TikTok video yesterday. It was the one for the I didn't actually talk to you guys about the Idaho case. I know,
right? I thought you put that in there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna quickly show that one now, and then we'll
good.
Come back.
I can finish my video.
You go ahead. You just take your time. I love you, buddy. Let me just find that quickly. Let's see here. This one. Okay. Hey everyone, this is Sunny Justice from It's a Crime and Shame. So of course, before we get started, if you are not a subscriber of this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you could please give this video a like and a share, that would be great. So I think you're going to find this video very interesting. So the topic that we're going to talk about, of course, is this. So you guys all know of the Idaho 4 and 1122 King Road. And at the back of the house, underneath Zena's room, just beside the kitchen or just near the kitchen, this, we'll call it liquid, was flowing down the cement wall. Now, as you can see, the liquid is actually going over the pipes. So a lot of people put speculation into that. So I'm going to give you something to truly ponder about. Now, I'm going to show you a video that Lana from Truth and Transparency had released. Now, I know there's other videos out there, but again, I believe in giving credit where credit was due, and Lana was the first one to release this video. So I'm going to show it to you guys, and then you guys decide and tell me what you think. Now, this video is from August 16th of 2022, so take a look. Okay, make sure you're watching very closely to that wall that I just showed you, okay guys?
Tech landlords. Yeah. Or we come back the next day or the next time you work.
Yeah.
And just note that, lack of cooperation does not go a long ways with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you see down that wall? Nothing there. And this was only a couple months prior to when the Idaho 4 happened. So again, I think you guys can use your, own opinions or whatever, what you guys think. But this is only a couple months prior to the Idaho 4, and there's nothing on the wall there. There's no liquid coming down. There's nothing. See, there's a better picture for you right there. So what are the chances that only within a couple months, all of a sudden there's this red looking liquid that doesn't look like, it's coming from the kitchen, it's coming from below Zena's bedroom. So now what do you guys think? So for any of the viewers that are watching, again, I'm just sitting here providing you with the footage that's out there. So this again was on August 16th of 2022. November 13th of 2022 is when it happened. So, again, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. And I'm just here to show you what I came across or what I was thinking about. And just even by looking at it, to me, I'm going to say it's the BLOOD word. And I'll let you guys decide and put that in the comments below of this video. But here, let me play that again for you.
Cooperation does not go a long ways with us.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, so please tell me what you think in the comments below of this video. Again, please, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, and please give this video a like and a share. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great day. Thank you so much. Okay, so now the reason what happened was is that I was thinking about, I was just thinking about the Idaho case, and I was thinking about that picture. So we, of course, we know, just like Michaela has says there, that we know obviously that they know what it is, and I am pretty darn positive that it is a BLOOD word. And I mean, I know that when I see that color. Okay, that's, I don't think it's rocket science there. But what interested me was that instantly I thought about that footage, and I remember that out back that Kaylee was out there. Was it with Ethan? In the back there, when the cops were, you know, knocking on the back door, and they'd come out, but I didn't show that part because it was not necessary. But I thought to myself, I don't think I've ever seen anyone correlate the two. The fact that just only a couple months prior, that wasn't even there, because everyone's saying, oh, it's coming from the pipes, it's this, but yet it's coming over top and stuff like that. And then I thought to myself, you know, I've not seen anyone go, oh, myself.
The drip pattern was not consistent with it coming from the pipe.
Oh, correct. And I mean, I was looking at it again last night up close, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what it is, but I just want anyone else to decide. But it just reminded me of that footage, and I just don't remember anyone going, oh, look it. See, there's nothing here only 2 months prior, but yet it's here on the date of the Idaho 4. So that's why I put out that video. And as for what Steffa was saying about Julia,
I will say really quickly while you're looking at that. So yeah, behind the scenes, I got a message at 5:30 this morning that says, has anyone put out a video saying the substance outside Xana's room, and then the Truth and Transparency video, you know, and correlated the two? And I was like, nope, you're a genius.
Well, I believe I said, I'm a genius here, because I just thought to myself, I don't recall anyone bringing that to attention. I don't even know if anyone even thought to, because they were too busy. You're too busy watching the police officers. I mean, there could be somebody else out there that did.
Maybe someone has. I've not seen anyone. I thought it was a catch.
Yeah. I only wish I was JLR, because if that was JLR, I would have had 50K views.
Oh, you know what I just realized, Sonny?
What?
We did that live last week. I just today realized that was me that you put in the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. After you sent that picture, I changed it right away. And I put you as
it's a good thumbnail.
I was wondering when you decided to see it.
I didn't even notice that was me. I'd forgot I sent you that picture joking.
Yeah. You know, we take a razz out of JLR, you know. But in all honesty, I have to say this, because I have to retract a little bit on myself. One thing that I do appreciate is that he literally is going to the different places.
Right.
You cannot say that for a lot of people. I mean, I don't have that ability. I'm over here in Canada. I only wish I could. Trust me, I would be doing that stuff.
And you're not that far from Idaho.
What, 3 or 4 hours?
Probably.
I think. Yeah.
To get on your little drive down there.
Yeah. Okay, so I do drive, but I don't drive. Does that count? I drive, but I don't drive. My husband always drives. I don't like driving.
You can legally drive, but you choose not to.
Yeah. I don't mind driving in smaller cities, but Vancouver is not the place that I want to. Vancouver always scared me to drive because I always remember that first incident that I came back from Alberta, and my sister, this guy is just honking his horn. My sister had picked me up from the airport. We were heading to my mom's house, and this guy is just riding my sister's tail. And my sister starts doing this and being like, and I'm like, Dad, he's probably an emergency. And she's like, that is not. I mean, she keeps doing this to the guy, right? And I'm just like, Tan, honestly, he's probably an emergency and he just wants you to get out of the way. And come to realize, no, it just means get the heck over, get out of the fast lane because I'm going faster than you.
You gotta be in the US, you gotta be careful because you do that too much and someone's gonna like
right. Well, because our gun laws are a lot stricter here, we don't usually have to worry about that. But it's just one of those things is that in Vancouver, it's a big city, and people just, if they see student driver, they're coming right for you, and they're making sure that you're riding, that they're riding your, behind there.
Right.
And that's just the way they do things here. It's like, get out of my way. It's one of those like, fight or flight type of things. You missed a lot actually.
I didn't realize how bad the homeless population was in Vancouver.
Oh, absolutely. Especially down East Hastings.
Yeah.
Right. It is huge. And it's very sad. And my husband does get to see it a lot because he's always in Vancouver, almost all the time. And, sometimes I'll make a home up in a park, one of the beautiful parks up there, and they'll all pop up tents and they'll stay that way until basically the police come along and say, hey, get up and get off.
Right. I know one YouTuber I followed that was in Vancouver got his windows busted out, I think, in Vancouver of his vehicle.
Yeah, it's a common thing if it's not tied down. Like my husband, hi Herman, my husband will talk about Britain, and my husband, it would make me laugh because he's coming to Vancouver, really has no idea about Vancouver whatsoever. And he always is like, he would look at me and go, see those Christmas lights, those little decorations? If you lived in Britain, those would be gone. He goes, you see those things over there? Those would be gone. If you have those little decorations out in your lawn, those would be gone. And I'm always kind of was giggling because I'm like, geez, you're making it sound like you can't even put out anything. He goes, pretty much no. He goes, you can, because they call the chavs. In England, they're called chavs. Okay. So chavs wear, okay, you guys know how pink dresses more sporty like or sporty from Spice Girls and that. So chavs wear a lot of like Adidas clothing, the very jock type of look. And so my husband says that like chavs are like a breed of themselves. Here we just simply call them punks, the Grinches from Britain. And so really, so my husband's from Britain, is he? No. Yeah, he is. But anyway, so yeah. So the way he talks is like, geez, you can't even, he says like that they just overwhelm. Like it's not like it's just a little thing. It's like they're everywhere. They basically, it's like almost like a swarm of bees that go whoop, destroy. And then, so when I went to the UK for Christmas, I think it's been 4 years ago now, like, and I remember that the lady, when we got off the plane and I had to stand in this lineup, it was my bad because I was taking forever. And my husband got to go right through. He literally got to go right through. And meanwhile, I'm in this lineup of about 60, if not more people. And I get to the freaking lady. And then she's like,
Customs.
Hey.
At customs.
Yeah. And holy bee is all I can say. Okay. So she had this big old bee attitude going on. And she's just like, what are you here for? And she's like treating me like I'm just basically a piece of crap. Right. Okay. So whatever, dealt with it. In the meantime, I'm panicking. I'm like, husband, where are you? Husband, I can't see you. Husband, I'm in this place and I don't know where I am. In this airport, right? By these mean people. And then, so we get out and then me and my husband are looking where to meet his Uncle Phil. And then this, I say to this gentleman, excuse me, can you tell me where? And then he goes, can you look at the board? Can you read? And I'm like, oh, you D number 2. And I'm just like, so that was my first impression of landing. And I thought, you know what, husband, you were right about these people. They are not nice. I mean, it was a great experience after that, but it was just like, really, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me to your country and treating me like a piece of, but anyways, that's funny. But anyways, so let's get back into, let's see here what we're talking about again. And let's start with, what do you want to start with, Adam?
Let's start with Delphi. That's, I'm sure a lot of people have not, a lot of people want to hear about Delphi. So let's give the people what they want.
Let's start about Delphi. Okay. End of story about Delphi. That was long-winded, wasn't it? You guys want me to keep it shorter? No, just kidding. So, I mean, what can you say about Delphi? This is typical in all cases. This stuff happens. I watched it happen with the Barry Morphew case. The prosecutors or defendants, the defense is asking for this. The prosecutors are saying, we gave you this when we're not giving you this. The defense comes back saying, no, we're still waiting for more stuff from the prosecutors. And it's delayed tactics, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, you probably know that February 17th now isn't going to happen. And, of course, we all knew that March wasn't going to happen. But meaning this is exactly what delays these cases and turns them into years because of all these tactics along the way. It's just the game of it all, the way it's played. And I know that. So every time I see an update, it doesn't shock me whatsoever. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. Do we want to know what's going on in Delphi? Absolutely. Now, I want to say something that I seen last night. I'm not going to really say the channel, but it's just something that I watched for a few minutes. And I thought to myself, okay, I want to correct things that were said about this. So there's this gentleman named Eric Williams. He was part of the search team in Delphi. Now, Eric Williams, where he was searching was over in the Wilson Bridge area. Okay. So that's where the police and that's where, him and I can't remember who was it, him and the other guy, that they decided that they were going to go on their own search. And so they went over to Wilson Bridge and they went to this area that I remember Eric Williams saying that was, nothing that people would go through. Like it was a very dense type of bushy, whatever area. And in that area, he came across a bunch of bones and skull bones hanging from the trees and stuff like that. That was not near the actual crime scene. He was referring only because, he was playing these messages but in that, and I remember going, I was just like literally reading about this about a week ago. And I remember distinctly that it was at Wilson Bridge. Okay. So the whole pictures of the bones or whatever, again, probably pictures maybe he took, Eric Williams, that is, but that was not near that, meaning it was in the same area, because obviously you guys know where Wilson Bridge is in comparison to the Delphi. But so when the person was asking, so what was at the crime scene? Well, dude, you weren't even at the crime scene. You were at Wilson Bridge and you came across this other stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that fact is out there of where exactly Eric William was, which was the Wilson Bridge, which was not the Monon High Bridge, and it was not near the crime scene, but close to the crime scene, but just down further at the Wilson Bridge. Okay. I just don't want people to be misled, because it's not like in those texts, it was clearly said. I know that there was this ruckus guy that was in there saying, no, he was at the Wilson Bridge and whatever in the chat part of it. But I just want to be very clear on that, so people don't go going, oh, so he saw a part of the crime scene and knew that was the crime scene staged and made a certain way? Absolutely. I still try to keep working on that video, you guys, to release it for you for the crime scene for Delphi Part 3. And then I keep getting sidetracked by some other things. And another thing I do want to say again is last night, of course, we were on the Drunk Turkey show. So of course, I want to thank them again for having us on their channel. Another great live. If you haven't watched it, go over to the Drunk Turkey Show and see that episode from yesterday. Tomorrow night, they'll be having the murder sheets on their live. So again, that's tomorrow night. Probably, I think it starts at 7:30 Central Time, which would be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But anyways,
no one will probably watch that one.
So, yeah.
They'll be like, oh, could you have those people you had on Monday back on?
That's pretty much how it's going to go, correct? Yeah. But anyways, so that's a thank you to a Drunk Turkey Show, of course. And of course, a big thank you to Alexa, who, Alexa and Lewis that, are basically like our regular friends on our lives. And we want to thank them especially, of course, for that. Right. Okay, so with Delphi, does anyone have any questions, you guys, for Delphi? Because there's not. Go ahead.
I know Brenda asked a question in our group chat earlier today that I think a lot of people probably have as well. And one of the reasons given in the request by the defense for asking for the date of the hearing to be reset was that they have not received all of the discovery. And the question she asked was, do they legally have to give all of the discovery before this hearing? And to the best of my knowledge, the answer to that is no. But what the prosecution would have to do in this instance is, because they're going to have to lay out some reason that bail should not be given, which typically includes them giving some of the evidence that's included in the discovery. So I was looking forward to this hearing because I was hoping we would at least get maybe some details, even if they were minute, that we didn't know prior. But they don't legally have to give the discovery yet, but they have to give it before trial, of course. But it'll be interesting to see when they reschedule this February 17th hearing for.
Are you sure about that though?
About what?
It might be different in Indiana.
Legally, they have to have turned over all of the discovery before the trial starts. In an inadequate amount of time for the defense to mount a defense, or then they'll ask for a trial delay, which there's already been in this case, of course. But the prosecution always holds the burden of proof.
And that's exactly it. They're purposely doing it. They probably, gives them more time,
right. Because they need as much time as possible as well. Because even though we've known about Richard Allen since the end of October, think of all of the information. We talked about this on Drunk Turkey Show last night a little bit about, all of the search warrant they did at Richard Allen's house. It takes time for all of that stuff to come back from the labs. And then, the prosecution has to kind of look through it, sift through it, and figure out what is usable and what is best for their case.
It's really just a gameplay, really.
I've been watching the Alex Murdaugh trial quite a bit in the last week. And, it really is. It's a game of chess when it comes to, law.
Yep. And I only because I remember watching the Barry Morphew case and how they were doing the same thing. That defense asked for all this discovery, they provided them with some. Then they were like, no, you didn't give us everything we needed. Blah 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 blah. And sadly for that case, Barry Morphew ended up getting released because basically there was
that never actually went to trial yet. So because
correct because
Luckily, they reset and they were like, we're not going to charge him right now because
correct.
If they had continued with it, it would have probably been an easy case of getting off, and then they would not have been able to retry him.
Exactly.
So even though it's not justice for for her, it's at least there's still the opportunity for it, and because I think we all know who did that.
Well, I was going to say because the gameplay there was really that hey. We believe that we know where Suzanne is and that she's buried underneath 6 feet of snow. However, we cannot get to it. So you know what? Let's just pull back from this. We'll recant and we'll So
he's like the smarter Brian Walsh.
Yeah. So it's just their tactics and their different things that they use, of course, which obviously in law, that's the hard part, is that everyone just wants truth to come out. But in that truth, we watch almost like a 3-ring circus act happen between the defense and the prosecutors. And it all boils down to the law, and the loopholes and how things work in the games. Like you said, a chess game,
Right.
Oh, you're doing this. Oh, okay, well, we're going to move over here, anyways. Yeah.
And there have been several cases as well that, even like where, the prosecution can come across new evidence, even during the trial sometimes. And, there are incidences where they can, when they receive information like that, they have to turn that discovery over to the defense even during the trial.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they initially have to hand over what they have, of course, before the trial. But they don't have to do it before a bail hearing. Because think about it, a lot of bail hearings are held within 24 hours after an arrest. The fact that this is 3 months later is kind of odd in itself.
Mm-hmm. It's always at the last second, though. Ooh, let's just wait till 10 days before.
Of course.
Let's file this motion. Okay.
Right. Show your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
For charismatic there, you're not gonna like put your hand out before you ante up or something.
Well, we have our hand out from Grizz all the time. He always claims he loses at this Texas Hold'em poker and stuff. And
right. You should check in with Callie. I think someone won $775 million on the Powerball last night.
Well, if it was Callie, I'm pretty sure I would have seen my island picture from her. So obviously it wasn't.
Or she's like,
right? Right? She's just like, what I said to you, Sonny, ixnay on that. Yeah. I feel like, Callie is my girl. She's a sweetheart beyond belief. Oh, yeah. Which reminds me, let me pull that up quickly. Just let's see what stuff is that they will get defense discovery. Okay, I want to thank. Oh, okay, I remember who. I want to thank Yorkie for the 4 cups of coffee that she had bought us the other day. So Yorkie, thank you for being a sweetheart. And of course, Glitter Bean had bought us a cup of coffee. So I want to say to anyone that does want to support this channel, there's always the coffee app, that Streamlabs pulls up. There's always a link to the description as well. So there's the PayPal link, there's the coffee link, just so you know. Says we all know that YouTube takes 30% of super chats, so it's really appreciated. Lots of times I look and there's like someone has bought us a coffee. I just want to thank you guys very much for doing that, but I wanted to make sure that I especially gave them the shout out, because although you don't see it here, you'll still get your shout out here for doing so, because the coffee app takes like 41 cents, versus YouTube's 30%. And Ray Jones, I don't think Ray's ever bought us a cup of coffee. Nope. Hey Ray. I think so. It's got a big vest.
Ray, how's that fishing business doing, Ray?
Tunas are only this big this year.
Too busy taking all the ladies of Eastern North Carolina out on dates.
Okay. Hi Mustang. How are you? How long have you been live? Oh, 1 minute.
20 minutes.
Okay, fine. It says
1 minute.
It says 53 up top. People aren't stupid.
We said short, so
53 short minutes. If you guys did not know that fact, Jack, okay, 53 minutes in my time is probably about 10 minutes real. 13.
Factually, we've been live less than an hour.
Factually, yeah, and longer than 1 minute. That's factual.
Yeah.
All right.
But, yeah.
I don't even have a wrench. It's probably when I blocked you the first time, dude. Did you have one then, or no?
No.
Yeah.
With responsibility comes, or with power comes great responsibility, Ray.
Yeah, I don't trust Ray with a wrench. Let's just be honest. I don't trust Ray loves this channel. I know he's a very passionate person, and he's very.
I don't trust Ray with any tool.
I don't even trust him with a fish. He'd probably slap me out with.
Definitely don't trust him with a fish.
Yeah.
Just play, right?
Yeah, I can just see him abusing that power. He'd be like, blah, yeah, mute.
But no, yeah, as far as Delphi, that's the only update. I know a lot of people are talking about this witness. I know that's really big right now online.
Okay,
With
give me
this bloody
heads up on this because I haven't looked into it yet. Okay, gotcha. Adam hasn't looked.
I know. Well, Steph had mentioned it earlier, and now Steph is like, "Can I call in for just a minute? And I'll tell you about it."
No, that minute's not good.
So I guess a lot of people, her name has been put out there. I mean, yet no one knows 100% that this is the correct person. I mean, it looks like it probably is, but I guess she was charged with it. I sent it to you. Yeah.
I'd have to look at him. Don't you remember off the top of your head or no?
But she was not convicted of the crime that she was charged with right after the girls. I personally, I guess some people are questioning the credibility of her statement based on the fact that she might have done something nefarious after the fact. But
that's just semantics, right? You know you're blocked. You just went on your wife's account.
Oh, he did watch every episode. He just couldn't chat.
That's true.
Oh, Steffi, you're never in timeout. I'm just playing.
Oh, but this is true, Steffa. I don't know that we'll ever forget that one. That one was funny. I have to go back and watch that one again. That one made me crack up so bad. Okay.
I think my favorite was when she tried to redeem herself. She was like, "I found my tree."
I found my tree. Yeah, I know my south from north now. Yeah, good. Yeah, and we're just like, yeah, we believe.
I'm like, I found your tree, Steffa. It's right here in this notebook.
My goodness, Turkey has had 5 quakes in 24 hours. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, last I saw 7,000 people were confirmed deceased.
On there.
So just horrible.
I'm just trying to see here. I just want to see what that name is that you speak of. Are you sure you sent it to me?
Well, yeah. It's been several days now, but
I just type in the name. That's all I want to know. I just want to see if it's one that I recollect.
I have to find.
Hi, Jojo. It would look bad to the jury that she only came forward seeing till after the incident.
How long ago was that? My goodness.
When did she come forward with that information?
I don't think we know. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't remember if it says that in the affidavit or not.
If it doesn't make sense, Ivy, it's because it usually doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah, and prayers for Turkey, guys. I was thinking that comment was about the Drunk Turkey show. I'm like, really? Drunk Turkey shows had 5 quakes? Is this a joke that I'm missing? But you're talking about actual Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steffa, that's what Adam was saying. That I can't imagine that type of devastation, and prayers that it doesn't happen around you guys either. I had to go. Yeah, no. I mean, I've been hearing about the end of time now since I was a child. Okay. So when that time happens, it will happen. And you won't even know when it will happen because it will just happen. But okay, thanks, Adam. Yeah, I don't know how many times in life people have told me that the end of the world is near, and when it's near, and we won't know, and we'll just be, dust in the sky. Okay, let's see here. Sorry, just taking a look.
I have a feeling I'll be walking around going, "Where is everyone?"
Oh, okay. Just looking at her, it looks like somebody I wouldn't trust.
No, like I said, and my like I get that people question, the integrity of what she said, but I still can't help but think to myself that, one doesn't have to necessarily do with the other. You can be not a great person and still have witnessed something.
Correct. It's
that,
just right.
Is credible.
It becomes down to credibility of it all.
Right. I just, I'm like, part of me is kind of like,
I'll look into it.
Does this woman's name need to be out there?
No.
I mean, because like I said, she wasn't convicted of this, so.
So I wonder who determined that was her.
Her rap sheet, I mean, is definitely, it's impressive. Because I've looked at her my case.
But I haven't. Yeah, like, meaning, I haven't looked into it. I'll take a look into it, see what I come up with myself, and see what Adam finds out, and but like, so, who put it out there first to say that this person was the person that said that? Do you know?
I believe Julia. We talked about it the other night. Remember?
Yeah, vaguely.
I mean, I think that's who did, but I mean, I could be.
Are you going to be a Debbie Downer? Is that what you're going to be? Support stuff, a Debbie Downer right here? She's trying to tell us that the end is near. Be prepared. You're the same person that told us that the tree that was should have been on the north side, but it was on the south side, and you even had it green highlighted. I will not take you seriously until you redeem yourself.
Right. Steph, we're going to have to do really good on our dating channel.
Okay. Right. Short live my butt. Okay. I think the issue seems to be with Ives being a little dirty by dropping the charges. Also, who was Julia talking about? That was the witness's attorney. First of all, I've only vaguely seen that channel. I really don't know much about it myself. Because you guys know I don't watch very many channels. And
we didn't even know about the Drunk Turkey show. And now they're some of our favorite guys.
Absolutely. Besides, and you guys, just so you know,
which I like best.
Yeah, I just what I want. What'd you say?
I just can't decide which of them I like best.
Ooh, yeah.
I was like, Daniel, Jaime, or Jaime, or Blue.
See, I'm gonna be one of those ones. I don't usually do this, but I'm just gonna say all three are the same equally. I'm gonna play that card. That's a safe card. And I don't usually take safe, but I'm going to take the safe card on this one.
Right. Ray, I did not see it.
Probably Daniel, though. No, I love Big Blue. Do love Big Blue, too. And Jaime, I like that for the fact that...
He has a fan club, apparently. Big Blue does.
Of course he does. Whenever
Did you see the Eric Williams interview from earlier today?
We just talked about this already, actually.
Well, I know. But did you see the interview? Because I didn't actually watch the interview.
Did he do one today?
According to Ray Jones, tender for true crime fans. Exactly, Michaela. I mean, give us a little credit. We're like Bumble.
What'd you say?
Said Crime Exchange is like Tinder for true crime fans.
So, Ray, did Eric Williams do an interview recently? Is that it? Because I know that he had done one before. I haven't really paid any interest to him because he was at the Wilson Bridge. Anyway, you know what? I've been working on a lot of things. I'll do my circling later for Delphi stuff, or if somebody wants to send anything, they know that they can always send it to acrimingshame@gmail.com. Yeah, Ruckus Rocks was in the channel. Yeah, Ruckus Rocks. I seen him in Sluice Live yesterday, and that's why I'm saying is like Ruckus Rocks was like he literally knows, I guess, Eric Williams and was texting him. So I know for a fact that it was Wilson Bridge. It wasn't the Delphi Monan Bridge. He wasn't at that crime scene. He was at some bones that he came across from the Wilson Bridge over in that area. And then Ruckus Rocks was saying that in the chat. again, you just keep the information straight. Appreciated. So I don't know who Ruckus Rocks is. It said some podcast or whatever. But I appreciated the fact that Ruckus Rocks was in there, because he was messaging with Eric Williams and would ask him. But now,
I wonder,
go ahead.
I wonder if our one Delphi friend is
Ruckus Rocks.
Williams.
Oh, or knows. Hey, Delphi friend. Do you know? You can just message me behind the scenes if you're in here. But so the thing that, so I had to stop watching it after that part because Eric Williams' theories and that, so he believes, okay, and you know what? I don't want to say that it's wrong either because we just don't know. But he believes that the girls were in the shed, that this is about like the whole meth thing. And I'm not saying it's not, but when someone speaks like that they know kind of what happened and that's the true story, and yet we don't know what the true story is. But because we know that that meth M substance is a huge part of Delphi area, and the surrounding counties and a lot of other places around the world, especially in the small towns, you notice it a lot more, versus the big cities like here. You notice it, but not quite the same. So when people start thinking that they, that, I don't want to say him. It's when somebody's kind of putting out there that, that they were at the crime scene, but he wasn't saying he was at the actual crime scene. It was just his belief to the story of what he thought, because a lot of people think that the girls, that area was checked and that those girls weren't there, and yet you kind of go back to the coroner's report that it was over by 3:30. There is that implication, definitely. I tossed that through my head so many times. And the thing is that it could be true because, again, there's things at the crime scene that the BG didn't have on them. So how did they get there? Were they planted before? Well, might seem unlikely if there's a big object there that perhaps could have been seen in those trees. As the searchers are looking that night, and it very well could be true that, that it's not as it seems. And I kind of fully believe that there's something amiss with this case, that something is not as it seems, and something happened. And so there could be some truth to some of that, of what he's saying. I don't live in Delphi. These people live in that area. These people know what's going on. But
Steffa, do you mean runner? Do you mean RL? Or are you talking about the shed behind Richard Allen's house?
The shed.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sonny.
Yeah. No, not RA shed. They're talking about RL shed.
The shack. Yeah, RL's.
Yeah.
Or like have some people speculated the one at the Mears, right, that was then burned down.
Yeah, no, he was talking about the one on Ron Logan's land because Eric Williams specifically said that, I believe, in those messages that he's answering that.
Let me ask you, Sonny, do you think that people would be so fixated on the whole shack shed thing if it weren't for Doug Carter's kind of cryptic statement about the movie The Shack?
I think that people took that and ran with it the wrong direction.
Right.
Not to say that I don't think that still can fall into play with it, but I think that really people just inhibited it, dissected every single word that he said. And I really Nicole Bowen was found in that shack, what was called a shack in a sense. I just think that word was definitely taken. People ran with it, twisted it to how they wanted to interpret it. And I don't think it honestly had anything to do with the girls. But do I still think a shack is out of the realm? No, because I think to what Megan Allen was talking about in her initiation, because she was there. Don't forget, Megan Allen was there on the 13th with the 5 guys that picked her up in that white vehicle.
So
And
was her brother Blake, apparently.
Yeah, Blake Hicks.
According
Yeah.
someone, someone that's talked to him. I talked to behind the scenes.
Yeah,
That
and
is
so,
one person removed from Blake, but and from Megan.
Right. So, there's just there's something strange there, because don't forget, Megan Allen showed up. She called her mom. She talked to her mom on the 13th. Can't remember what time it was. It was like, what was it, 3:13? Can't remember. It's been so long since I even looked at that stuff. And she showed back up at home on the 15th, said that she was not SA attacked, but
she did.
Attacked,
I thought she did say that.
No.
I thought she said she was hard or SA'd.
No, because I remember her mom's statement saying it wasn't in that way, but that she was like roughed up in a sense. I can't think of the exact words, and because I remember distinctly, Adam. Now she was lying a bit, Megan, because her mom even kind of, which is Tina Rodell. Okay, you guys. So Tina Rodell was all, gung ho on talking and open up her mouth and stuff like that, putting push coming. Even I tried talking to her, and then she like gives up this thumbs up, like as if she's going to talk, and she doesn't. And it's just like, so why she stopped opening up her mouth and talking, I don't know. But either way, I remember her mom saying that it wasn't in a SA thing or whatever it was. Because I remember that going, oh, okay. But anyways, she shows up back at home, and she's got like earrings in her pockets. Now those earrings, and I asked Becky about this. Becky said something like Libby didn't wear jewelry and Abby did wear earrings sometimes, but those weren't. They've seen those earrings, and those earrings didn't belong to those that Abby or Libby, is what Becky had said. So there's something to be said about this whole what a twisted mess. And this is what drives me crazy. You can't even
look at all those tentacles.
Yeah, like you honestly, you guys, I know this. You guys can't even conjure up a simple thought, because every time you try to think about that particular time frame and day, there's always something to twist it in like different, well, we'll call it tentacles, different tentacles to go different directions and go, but this, wait, no, what? And then your brain explodes and goes to mush, because none of it is making sense. Like, yes, we have the affidavit out for Delphi, and yes, it gives us some more information, but it gives us some more information for sure, but it's not giving us what we kind of want to know to put it all together. Besides people speculating, of course, but it's a mind twister. And even Alexa, is kind of blown away by just the same thing, really. It's like you're just lost. You don't even know which way to look, because there's so much muddled mess in there, and there's things that don't make sense. And then,
it's more muddled than a mojito.
Yeah, you get people saying that place was checked out. There's just so many twists and turns, and I try, for the most, it hurts the brain. It truly does. Yeah. So I try to stay always focused on what were the connections of people and what was at the crime scene, because hopefully the crime scene could maybe open up avenues to where the story truly lied, because we don't know unless someone's involved, or knows those answers, like a Garrett Kurtz perhaps, or and stuff like that. We just don't know. And we've heard so much muddled up stuff. So always the best way to deal with things is go back to the beginning and see what was said. And in the beginning is when you're going to see a lot more truth than as it's been 5.5 years of muddled stuff in there. And just look for those truer statements that make sense. So again, Dave Erskine, his texts, those are from him. Okay. Those are 100% accurate. Those are 100% true to what he said,
Right.
Maybe his recollection was a little bit off. Who knows? Who knows? But those were words that came from David Erskine from the crime scene, in a sense, to give us some inside knowledge, and those are from him, verified. Okay. Now, how accurate were those? I'm sure they were pretty accurate, but I also think that, I mean, this is his niece he's seeing. So, it's no different than Kelsey. When you're in a state of panic, and I'm sure that there's lots of things that Kelsey can't remember to this day because it's like a fog. Like, she just wants to find her sister, and then all this happens, and you don't even think that you're going to have to recollect certain things.
Right. And why that suspect to some people, I don't know. Because, I mean, I think on a human level, everyone can identify with the fact that, I mean, imagine when parents die, when parents pass from natural causes. I mean, it's very common for people to say, "Oh, that first week was a blur." The whole leading up to the funeral and after is a blur. So imagine you're a 16-year-old and your sister's unalived in a horrific manner, unexpectedly, and you're going to question why she doesn't remember things, crystal clear.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I'm like, you need to go back to school or have your brain tested.
2 seconds, Adam. Oh, exactly. Because people wanted to break down everything and dissect it. And when you don't have, God gave you guys brain power, and he expects you guys to use it to your fullest. And not always do we do that every day. Myself included. But in saying that, there's certain things that don't make sense, and there's certain things that do make sense. And one thing that would never make sense is that when they're put in that position themselves and then have to recollect, it only makes sense that you're going to remember things here and there. You had an interview, but you didn't say this. Oops, I forgot. How many times do we do that normally ourselves? Oh, I wish I should have said, oh, I didn't, crap. We do this all the time. But yet people wanted to throw Kelsey underneath the bus as if she was part of it all, dissecting everything she did. And,
I saw the best comment the other day, Sonny.
What did you say?
Someone sent to me the comment. It was on I can't read it was one of those trash channels. I think True Crime Design. And the comment, and someone said it was about Idaho, and it said, those surviving roommates look just like Kelsey, in my opinion.
I'm sorry.
As to say, because they look like Kelsey, and we know Kelsey's evil. I was like,
did the stork drop that lady on her head?
No, but it should have. It should have dropped her before she was delivered.
I feel like the stork just kind of went, oops, drops, and then it's like her head went bounce, 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 and then
or her stork was a drinker and hit a brick wall.
Yeah, something happened. When people say stuff like that, that's just cray. You just
right.
Sorry.
Exactly.
What does that even watch that channel? I don't even know who that channel is. I've heard the name. I really don't.
Someone sent it to me.
But all the power to you for lacking brain cells. I mean, I'll give you credit. It takes all kinds in this world to make up this world. So, even if it's out of whack in a Cracker Jack box or whatever, again, each to their own. I just refuse to.
Right.
I refuse to go down that type of thinking and mentality. It's like, you really understand when you're on the internet. I'm sorry, you guys, but there's a ton of Cracker Jacks out there, and I've never actually realized just how unlevel-headed or weird thinking some people can be until you come on the internet, and then you're dealing with thousands of people all the time. And some of the comments that people leave on the videos, and you're just like, I can't even deal with you. I don't even want to block. Is pretty much what I do. So I'm very grateful to the people that do come in here, that do have brains and that do use them and do, everything here typically that, the odd little wacko comes in here once in a while, that trolls or something like that. But I really do appreciate people that just do have the common sense and throw your theories around. Absolutely. But stay on this planet, Luke Skywalker, type of thing. And it's like, just stay on the planet. That's all. That's all. But okay, regard things like that, not funny. But there are those people that just make you laugh, just because it's so ridiculous that you can't help but laugh.
German.
What did you say?
Criminal mastermind, Kelsey German.
Yeah. There needs to be a special planet. And who should run that planet is none other than the big G, the G slime. He should be running that planet. Seriously, we need to blow up a big balloon, and set them off all up there.
It'd be his head.
Right, okay. You guys got me all laughing now and stuff like that. Wait, Chris, it's our 1-900 psychic line. Did you quit on me? Okay. So anyways, very passionate about Delphi case. You guys obviously know that. Or what, I don't know that so many channels even really talk. Like there's channels that talk about Delphi, granted. But I think it's wheedled down quite a bit. Do you feel that way? Or no? Or maybe just I don't pay attention.
I don't either. I think when the Richard Allen thing came up, I think it reignited a lot of interest in the case, and I think a lot of channels that hadn't covered it previously, even the Drum Turkey show, started covering it. And I think that because because there's not as much of a flow of new information coming out. I'm seeing the same thing with Idaho. You did the video about Xana's room or Xana's wall, and it doesn't have the traction it would have had 2 months ago, because I think people just aren't as interested, because I think that in a lot of cases, as soon as someone hears about an arrest, they think the case is solved and done.
Yeah.
So
well, I want because I want to take an example for that, and I'm not using this to belittle the channel. It was just how happened. I went to Duty Ron's channel because I think he was on the Twitter. And he's been doing Brian Kohlberger for quite a while. But as I was looking at his lives there, a couple weeks ago, most of his lives were like 34K views, 32K views. And in the last week and a half or so, it's more like 11K views, 12K views. Because again, people are moving on to other stories, or they're, usually when someone's in jail, that's when the decline happens. So they have someone, then it pipes up for a little bit, and then it starts to trickle down in a sense.
Right.
And then again,
remember how many people thought Delphi had been solved, throughout the years when, the Daniel Nation stuff came out, and then when the Keegan Klein stuff came out, a lot of people thought it had been solved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day,
not Daniel Nations.
I was going to say Daniel Nations.
Chadwell.
Yeah, you're talking about Brian James Chadwell. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I remember back in the day, I remember saying he's not the BG.
No, but a lot of people.
That video went to 18K. I wasn't.
A lot of people thought he fit so well that it had been solved.
He did fit very well. That was the problem, and people ran on it like anything. But it's what's funny to me is it's like watching a bunch of ants go brrr, and then all of a sudden
69.
Something else. 69. Thanks. And then all of a sudden something else happens, and then it's like watching a world of ants go brrr, brrr, brrr. And you're watching this, and I'm like, you guys think for yourselves, And there were so many people that were just, so adamant that Chadwell was it and whatever. And he made a lot of sense. He was a great runner up. He really was. So I understood it, and so I come out there going, well, I know who the BG is, so you guys are so wrong. So I put out this video saying Chadwell's not the BG, and that video, like 2 videos, went to like 18K and 15K. Well, that was good times back then. I didn't realize it at that point, but I wasn't even monetized, like I said, and I was like, oh dang,
I mean, look at what happens in every case as far as with Delphi, we have X amount of information. So, people take with the information and they try to fit the story into the information they have, which is why people to this day think Ronald Logan had something to do with that case. If you look at Kylie Rodney's case, we didn't have very much information at all. People immediately went after the Sammy girl and Jagger, because they were the 2 people that were in the public eye. So they fit into the information that the public had.
Yes. Yeah.
In the best way that they could fit to make the story work in their head.
Yeah.
The same with Idaho 4, Jack Decor. Yeah. Immediately, and then Jack Showalter. People take the names that they're given and they fit them into the story.
Right. Yep. Pretty much. Because that's the best that they can do. Because that's right. But,
and then when a Brian Koberger comes out or a Richard Allen, where we've never heard, we're like, nope, can't be, because I don't know that name.
Yeah. See, now Brian Koberger. So like I said, I hadn't followed the Idaho 4 when you started, so I didn't even know about all these Jacks until you kept talking about Jack. And like I said, it never even entered my mind to think of anyone as a thing. It was more about the story. And thanks, Jeff H. How are you? He said great job on Drunk Turkey last night.
Thank you.
Okay, Joan. So I'm not going to answer this fully, but I'll answer it enough to say, yes, there is tension between the... Oh, hi. Oh, well,
what was that?
I went to go talk, and all of a sudden somebody didn't want me to.
Kelsey. It was Kelsey, everyone.
I feel like it was. I feel like I'm being conspired against. Ray Jones? He's just mad because he doesn't have a range. But anyways, so yes, there is tension between the families. On what level? I don't know, but there's tension there, absolutely. But I'm not going to get into that. That's that's one of those things. Is that if you know some of the answers, then feel free. But
how could there not be? I mean,
yeah.
I've not been told that by any of the family members, but
I have. So not by the family members, but
I know what you mean.
Close enough.
I know what you mean, but how could there not be?
Yeah. I mean, you have a child whose mother did not want to let her go, would never let her on that bridge, versus the fact that she did go on that bridge. I'm sure no matter what, right? There's going to be, it's, you can't take back what happened, but at the end of the day, Abby was an only child. The impact that has to have, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, how do you say that? It doesn't matter. There's always going to be some sort of resentment or blame going on, probably. Right. There just is.
Because doesn't mean anyone's done anything wrong or anyone's at fault of anything. It's hard to go through an experience like that remotely, and forever to get along, let alone, to be in sync for as long as those families have. And I'm not saying I would say that at the end of the day, they will still have each other's back. But
if push comes to shove.
Yeah. But
yeah.
That doesn't mean you have to be best friends. Those families weren't best friends before this happened.
I think it's like anything, right? Is that in a family, families are big. There's people that get along within the families, and there's other people that might not like the family so well, or have a little bit. It's the same stuff, really, that kind of goes on, and it's to be expected in something like this.
It always resonates to me, hearing back to even it was in the Down the Hill podcast when I heard Carrie talking about getting the call from Derek. That and she was like, we hadn't talked since the since the divorce, So she's like, to get a call from Derek was not expected. So I mean, like, look at, there's another relationship that talk about how awkward that would be. And then, we know that, Carrie has several times throughout the years felt like she wasn't being included in the investigation and the know of information. So I think, it's just normal.
Yeah. And sometimes even as time goes on, what wasn't there at the beginning, what due to maybe reasons, after the fact, can add to that. It maybe doesn't get better, but sometimes relationships get worse. And I'm just going to leave it at that, to be honest with you. Again, I don't really want to dive into that part of their personal life because it's kind of a given that happens, Joan. But I hope, but just to answer your question, yes, there is tension going on, definitely. And I'm not saying it's between Anna and Becky. Again, I don't want to, I do know that there's tension going on, though, within certain family members for that. Okay. Okay, we've been on here for an hour and a half, so I need to get to my mouse is. I think right.
Oh, and Kelly, I know but I was just joking about Kelsey.
Okay. Yeah. And Kelly's my girl. I think that they were under super in their own heads that day. Maybe just focus on keeping it together that day.
I agree.
Super, yeah. Love you, Callie girl. Okay. I'm going to show you a video. I haven't actually watched it yet. And this is going to be about Lindsay Clancy. Now, Lindsay Clancy, this is a story that we talked about last week. And it was about a mother that unalived her. Love you guys. Seeing if you, Adam and I love you. Love you too, Callie. That unalived her 3 children. And took their lives, and then she went to go take her own, jumped out of a window, but it failed and she lived. Her husband had begged people, basically, please don't be upset at my wife. She's a really good person. She was a nurse. She,
right.
worked
what state
in
was this in?
Mass. No, I'm getting them mixed up.
Was it Tennessee?
Yeah. Adam, I'm having.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Because Massachusetts is going through my head, but that's a different story.
That's Brian Walsh.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, sorry. I honestly would have to look again. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's a clip I'm going to play. Alexa sent it to me. And so, let me just see how long it is. It's, okay. It's about 14 minutes. Didn't watch any of it. Yeah, let's just go with it and see. Just watch a little bit. Let's just watch a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what if it's good?
Okay, so 1 sec here. Nope. Why am I hitting that? I'm going to hit share screen. Okay, so this is on long crime.
January 27th, 2023, using an erasable whiteboard because she was still temporarily intubated. One of the first questions that Lindsay Clancy asked was, do I need an attorney? She knew that she had murdered her children, and she had the clarity, focus, and mental acumen to focus on protecting her own rights and interests. The following is a summary of the events that led to the murders of Cora Clancy, Dawson Clancy, and Callan Clancy. On the morning of Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, the defendant took her 5-year-old daughter, Cora, to the pediatrician's for an appointment. She interacted with a receptionist, nursing staff, and a doctor. There were apparently no issues with the defendant's demeanor or behavior as she completed the appointment and was allowed to leave with Cora without any issues or concerns. When she returned home, she went outside with Cora and a 3-year-old son, Dawson, to play in the snow. They built a snowman. The defendant sent photos to her mother and to the defendant, to her husband. She texted with them. Nothing in the text was out of the ordinary or any sign of any distress or trouble. Back inside later that day at 4:02 p.m., the defendant searched on her phone, Kids Miralax. She then searched Takeout 3V, via her cell phone at 4:13 p.m.
Hello? What happened, Sonny?
So you can't watch that. I'm gonna drop the link for that.
Yeah, that case is so hard.
I'm gonna drop the link for that, and you guys can go watch that one. It's just too heartbreaking to look at these children's faces. Sorry, guys.
I was just gonna use the restroom though, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, you go right ahead. Put your avatar back up, by the way. So again, there's the law and crime for it. The YouTube link for that. You guys, I just have a really hard time looking at children when their lives were taken needlessly and stuff like that. So there's a link for that one. Okay. As for, let's see this one. I'm just going to show this one. I'm not going to play any videos. It is when you literally see their pictures right there. It's just too hard on the heart, to be honest with you, to look at that. And any parent, any person that has children, or even if you don't have children, it's something that it's hard to understand how people can do this to their children. And then you see these bright little faces looking at you, just like Abby and Libby, and you don't understand it. You don't understand why people do the things that they do. Yeah, that's the part that you have to find balance at. I'd rather just drop the link on that one than continue watching it, to be honest. Anyway, so I want to go back over to, we'll talk about this for a sec, but I'm going to go back to the China ball thing. I don't really want to get into it either. I'm just going to literally show, scroll down just to show you guys some pictures. Again, I dropped the link for you guys. In this, where's that one? Right here. Then drop the link as well. Paste. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I know. And that I just don't understand how people cross that line. I mean, I'm human. I get it. I get that people have rage, and there's people that have such blackout rages and stuff like that. I get that not everyone thinks the same, and that there's people out there in this world that are here to cause others harm. And there's lots of people that never expected to cause someone harm, but then they did. And I hear Adam sniffling.
Right. I don't even have a child, but I have 3 nieces that I love like they're my own children, and my best friend has two daughters that I love like they're my own children.
Yeah.
And my 1-year-old niece, Sloane, I have irrational dreams sometimes about things happening to her that make no sense, but it's just that fear of you want to protect them at any cost.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's hard to understand, and to see those little kids' faces. I'm like, and like I love that little name, like Dawson. That's just the cutest name ever.
Yeah. And sorry, you guys, I was just scrolling down, just showing you some pictures. I think that's about it of those, the balloon as it was, it looks like a big cellophane ball. My thing is this. I am a mother that took being a mother to the core of my heart, like any parent should. Okay. And I don't really care, because when somebody has a child, it is now your responsibility to make sure that child is brought up in the most loving, caring fashion, with proper guidelines and rules and borders, boundaries that you could possibly give them. Now, of course, there's no handbook written on how to do that, but again, I don't think it's rocket science. you know, in this, you know, I know some people have a harder time, but when I brought our son into the world, it was my job from then on to make sure that I gave that child, meaning my son Matthew, the love that he required, the attention that he required, to be the best mom that I could to him, and make sure that he was provided with all of his needs, because that was my job. That is your job as a parent, you know, to do those things for your child. And so to give a child anything less than what they deserve, you know, is just wrong in my eyes. Now, there's not perfect parents out there. I'm not a perfect parent.
No one's perfect.
But do you know, but there's kind of like a standard guideline, in a sense, that you love your child, you give that child the protection it needs, the food on the table, that, you know, you brought that child into this world. It is your job to take care of that child.
Right.
You know, I mean, of course, when the child becomes older, you know, obviously they become responsible for their own actions, and you brought them up the best way you could. But my son, he doesn't talk to me. He barely talks to me, right? He took our divorce, and he went to the person that was being the abusive person. I couldn't change that. You know, I wish I would have done things differently. So never beat yourself up for being that best parent either, and yet you're having issues with your child, because I will go to my deathbed knowing that my son got all the ounce of love that he could from a mother. Right. So when I see people doing this to children, it hurts me to the core, because I am that person that when I see children, all I want for them is to have the love and care that they properly deserve. And if you are a crap parent and you're watching this, you need to rethink who you are as a parent. Because yeah.
Can I say really quickly, you know, I mean, it's heartbreaking, and, you know, we can understand it, but it is important to note that, you know, you can't make rational decisions when there's something wrong in your brain. And so, you know, I'm not, you know, saying to anyone that suffers from any disorder or mental illness or you know, postpartum, I'm not a woman and I'm not a mom, so I'm not going to even touch on postpartum. But, you know, you can't make rational decisions when you're not dealing with rationality in your brain.
Absolutely. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about the normal person that's a parent. We're not talking about the side outlines there, because Caddy, like you're saying, and like Adam's saying, and anyone else, we know that there's certain conditions that go on that people have, that where their wires get crossed, all those different things. Okay. I'm just talking about as a regular parent that's trying to bring up their child, in a sense. So something like this, Caddy, right. I myself, it's like, this is a horrific event that went on, but being a female, I understand how the hormones can change. And I understand, like, and a lot of guys do not get this. When you get your monthly, a lot of females, for instance, and this is just monthly, okay? This isn't whatever. When a lot of females, like, you go from 0 to boom very fast. The sensitivity is ultra. And so on a normal day, fine. Get me during my monthly time and you want to insult me or come at me, oh, my patience just went from this to boom, right in your face.
Then could you mark those days and send them to me?
I don't have monthly, okay? And more. But the thing is that I knew that. So if I knew that I wasn't, like, and it's very rare, but there was those rare times that I would say to somebody, look, I'm just warning you now. You better be nice to me today, because I'm on monthly. And I can tell right now that I'm super sensitive. So if you're going to say something, you better make sure it's nice. And so, but the thing is
that beautiful today. I love you.
Oh, go on. But anyways, I'm just saying that women's hormones, and like, guys have no concept of this. They really don't. No male out here in this world could ever really associate to what a female goes through, just like we can't for a man. But when it comes to the female body, we go through so much. We go through so much compared to men. I'm sorry, but it's just simply the truth.
It's true.
We do. We give birth. We go through postpartum. We can go through postpartum. We go through our monthlies, go through our menopause, all these body changing things.
You deal with men.
Yeah. I mean, just think though, when you have depression, how you're feeling. I felt like a zombie walking around, like literally a zombie. I literally wanted to like all the time go like, I don't even want to be here. Don't want to be here. I'm literally just a walking zombie. I never would have those thoughts ever. That's not me, but I have had those thoughts because you go through those times in your life where, like I said, I was going through a divorce and I couldn't believe what was happening around me. It's not making sense. Why are these little arrows keep coming at me? I don't get it. I'm a do-gooder. Like, why is this happening? What lesson are you teaching me? Why am I going through this for? I don't want to deal with this anymore. This hurts my heart too much, And I'm like, wait, I don't think like that. Who the heck are you? You don't think that way. Oh, are you finally seeing life through not rose-colored glasses anymore? I hyperventilated once. First time I ever hyperventilated was again with my ex during when times were going really south, and my dog had just been killed in front of me, and instead of being nice, he's being a total jerk. I'm gonna tell Matthew that you killed his dog and blah, 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 blah. And it was the first time I literally hyperventilated. I never even experienced that before. So we're talking about just in general. We're not talking about people that have
I knew you were
disorders. But at the end of the day, regardless, this lady will have to face the consequences of whatever the court decides, because these children are not here. It is because of what she did that has created this, regardless of any issues going on. There's a lot of people in this world that have issues, but at the end of the day, it's the courts to decide. But do I have more compassion for a case like this one with Lindsay? Yes, because
it's heartbreaking. Because I've looked at that family's life before this, and I didn't see a thing in the history. Well, of course, social media is always, the best of the best, but I never saw a hint or anything that would lead me to think this woman could do something like that. And so it makes it even more heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. It does. Difference between Abby and Libby. Somebody set out to do harm. Yeah. And don't even know what's going on in that brain cell.
Austin.
Just women understand that our bodies change through all the different things that we go through. And I have not ever experienced postpartum. Like, I only have one child, never experienced, but I've heard of it. And I've seen, again, it, something happens, whatever medication, whatever, you just get in those modes. When it comes to a case like this, I feel like it's one of those things. You just let justice play out the way it's going to get handled.
It's a very important social conversation, but it's a very difficult, hard conversation.
Correct. If anything, out of all of this with Lindsay, if it helps that somebody ever watches this video and is suffering from postpartum depression or has any issues that they feel is going on up there, where they're having depression, or they want to unalive themselves or whatever, that's what makes it all worth it, in a sense. That somebody took something away from maybe seeing this video or something else with this case that made them go, oh, like, because there's a lot of people that suffer from postpartum depression. It's just a very sad case.
And you can, and luckily, because of the internet and because of social media, in a way, some people are more open to discussing it, and and giving their experience with it, just like they are with miscarriages and other things like that. So I mean, I think that's one benefit of the internet and social media, but I can't. I mean, like I said, it makes it even more heartbreaking.
Yeah. I actually totally disagree with you, Ivy. Those are your hands. Those are your actions. It doesn't matter what you're underneath. That person did that to those children. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You are still responsible for your actions. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. The law doesn't, like, the law looks at things, of course, but the thing
Right.
is that those are your hands, those are your actions that you've done to those children. So I'm going to disagree on that one, even though, of course, you can have your own.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course she's responsible, but that is why the justice system has stipulations as far as things like that. Like the punishment should fit the crime, but it also should take into account.
It never usually does.
It should also take into account though, that like that's why we have, I know it's a general statement, but the insanity to plea, like sometimes sometimes mentally someone can't control what they then physically do. So I understand what Ivy's saying.
I do, but I don't.
I get it. At the end of the day, she still physically is responsible for what she did,
and that's the bottom line of it. That will be the bottom line. No matter if it's to do with the conditions or not, that will be the bottom line of it, and that's how the court will see it. They're going to take exactly what was going on and hold her accountable for whatever they deem, or maybe they'll. I mean, I can't see her walking away without something. But at the end of the day, nobody is responsible for anything you do but yourself.
I would say it's safe to say, regardless of what happens to her, she's going to be in a prison for the rest of her life. Whether that prison be a physical prison or the prison that's her brain.
This is what I think.
She's going to be paying the consequences for this for the rest of her life.
I think that you can't decide, or I can't decide, what she exactly was going through or has and whatever. I think that we're not doctors. But at the end of the day, it just becomes a sad case that these children are no longer here, that obviously she had a very, severe postpartum depression. And on top of that, 13 prescriptions going on, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to who's responsible for those actions. And she is. Doesn't matter about the rest of it. It will in the part of, what happens in the courts, but we're all responsible. I can't go, oops, I did this today and I'm going to use this. She probably had something very severe going on, because by the sounds of it, anyone that works in the nursing area is a caregiver. Anyone that works in the child and the nursing area is a caregiver. I believe it when her husband says, please don't hate my wife. This is not my wife. This is not the person she was.
And that poor man.
Oh my God. I can't even think about that. Here he is saying, please forgive my wife. And yet all his 3 children are gone, and I don't know. It's hard, I guess. Again, we're just going to agree to disagree, Ivy, on it, to be honest with you.
Well, I was going to say, I remember tomorrow night, Ivy Rose is going to be joining us to talk about, is it tomorrow night, Sonny?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. I need Ivy to get back to me on that, to be honest with you. Okay. So we'll see. Ivy.
Not if you disagree with her, Sonny.
No, I can disagree with her. Ivy knows that.
Playing.
So is that what the law says? So if your brain isn't working to the point that you don't know, right? Well, you meant to say right or wrong. You're not responsible. we have laws for that. It just depends on our state and the time and how they evaluate.
And that's true. I mean, but it still mean, I mean, she physically is responsible for it. It just doesn't mean if she's going to be legally responsible for it.
Mm. Well, again, depends on your guys' states or whatever.
Right.
I
thought Andrea Yates. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I thought Andrea Yates was convicted of that. So, but I know someone said in the chat that she was off, that she got off on that. But for some reason, I thought she was in a facility, because that's the woman that drowned her, if I remember correctly, 5 children in the bathtub after her husband left for work years and years ago.
Yeah, I remember the name. I don't remember.
Right. Okay. Oh, she got exonerated. Okay. Thank you, Diamond Eyes.
Remind me of that case.
I did. I think she drowned her 5 children, I believe, in the bathtub.
That was the one, was it?
3 boys. Right after her husband left for work, because she was suffering, and that was back in the 90s or early 2000s, when people didn't understand postpartum quite as much, or it wasn't talked about nearly as much, which is kind of what I was alluding to with social media and the internet being a benefit when it comes to that kind of thing, because it's allowed people to give their experience and talk about things like that more openly.
So Ivy's saying the tragedy too was her husband should have been charged. Why? I don't know. Are you talking about Yates, Ivy? Or the doc? You're talking about Yates, or talking about the Clancy one?
Right, because I know the Clancy one. He ran to the store, right?
Yeah,
he was only going to be gone like 15 minutes.
Yeah, 25 minutes, they said. But she was taking like 13 prescriptions.
I know. And I'm sure, and he might have been worried about her, but yeah. I mean, don't you think it's human nature to give people the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, I'm not sure
like
what
when you think
about that.
Because I don't think anyone expects that that's going to happen.
Oh, hey, Deb. Fancy meeting you in there.
Deb, you were making a video about what? About us? Okay.
Yeah. What Deb? Yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Deb. Insanity or temporary insanity is a legal term, right? Absolutely. And there are quite specific boxes to check. It's hard to meet the criteria. Yeah. Like I'm not going to profess anything about that. Oh, I hear my husband gaming. I hear that. All I heard up was this. Whoa! Everyone takes me with a grain of salt. I haven't looked at the Yates case in a while. Yes, okay. She was talking about the Yates case. Yeah. No, I just think that I know that there's laws out there. You guys live in the States, I live in Canada, but at the end of the day, I just think of things about personal factor of where it lies. That at the end of the day, we're all born, and that we still all have a responsibility. Now, if there's a law, of course, that has the compassion, and then that her, let's say her time is served in a mental hospital or institute where she can get the help that she needs and stuff like that. Either way, she's got to be accountable for something. I mean, obviously she needs to fix herself.
Even the 6-year-old, that was it a 6-year-old that shot the teacher?
Yeah. You're these words on me now, aren't you? Hold on. Yeah.
Well, I don't know another way to say the S word.
SHOT.
SHOT. Yes, that child is still physically responsible for what he did, but probably is not going to suffer any consequence, because there are laws that children under the age of 6 years old or 6 years old and younger are not responsible for their actions.
I probably wouldn't equate that case to an adult case, because the adults are responsible, where this lady is an adult already. Yeah.
Nicola.
What's she saying? Why is Adam always wearing a hat? No patterns, bald. Well, that's true. Men always wear hats because they're balding. Is that the reason why you wear it? Don't lie now.
Everyone's seen my hair. Do I have male pattern baldness?
Yeah. Because usually when people drag their hair forward and they cover, and I you know what, Adam? Oh my God, you have to see this. Can I show it? I came across a picture of you on your Facebook that I just happened to see yesterday. And I was like, is that Adam? But yeah, so I mean, I saw your forehead.
Well, no, my forehead goes back, but I mean, I don't have, but it's not like,
well,
but I don't have like a patch or anything or a.
No, but usually when people have thinner hair, they drag their hair forward and we call it combing over. You guys know that. But anyways, so do you wear a hat for that reason or not really? Or
no, I just wear a hat because I'm lazy and I don't want to fix my hair.
On there. Well, okay. And you know what? But by the way, I mean, like I said, to me, and I told you this before.
And I've always liked hats.
Males look more younger in hats. Whether you believe that or not, it's true. Be a female and then look at a male with a hat. It totally takes off years off of somebody. Because you're how old again, Adam?
41.
41. Okay. Now, I'd probably have put you in your early 30s, to be honest with you. I probably wouldn't have put you at 41 regardless, but I probably would have put you higher than like 31, you know? But hats, some people just look damn good in hats, and Adam's one of those people. Okay? But I have to show this picture. Don't even look. Just let me. Let me go. Hold on. Let me go find it.
Were you stalking my Facebook?
Yeah. No, it just popped up in my face, and I'm like, Adam, what are you doing with these two chicks? Now, that's not the picture I'm going to show. And it just your Facebook was right there. And I was like, oh, and I just clicked on a couple of pictures. And then there was this one that I came across like within 3 minutes of looking at your Facebook. I just gotta find it. Shh, don't pay attention to me, Adam, whatsoever.
Deb said she's a stalker.
Well, you guys know that I do like to stalk people's Facebook.
I know, right?
I hope
she didn't pull up my Intellius.
I don't stalk my friends list. Come on, where are you? I know,
Marietta. That's what my mother's always told me. That wearing a hat all the time causes baldness.
Here it is. Are you ready for it, Adam? You guys ready for this?
I don't know if I am.
No. Did you guys all hit that like first of all? Come on,
there are a lot of bad pictures
on
Facebook.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling you're not doing this to be sweet.
No, I am. Because I was actually a little bit taken back by it. Because, okay, but Adam doesn't know which picture I'm going to show you.
I don't.
No. So
but I'm a little scared.
Don't be scared. Look at little Adam. Look at this. Look at this picture. And who's your friend there?
That's my friend Chrissy.
Is that, sorry, but her name was.
Her name's Chrissy.
Holly's? Yeah, is that with the, isn't that the one that had same last name as Holly Lowry? It started with a B?
No.
Okay, because there's somebody on your list, and I'm like,
yeah, oh, no, yeah, that's my friend Rebecca. Rebecca's one of my best friends. Okay. Which Chrissy lives in Alabama, but yeah, no, Chrissy, hey. Chrissy's hot.
Tony, what are you talking about? You should be saying Adam's hot. Like, isn't
I had my piercing then.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize you for a second. I was like, Adam, you know who you remind me of? And I'm not gonna say this. This isn't in a negative way. Who's that blonde-haired guy with the crooked, broken nose? But not that you have his nose.
Owen Wilson.
Yes, Owen Wilson.
I used to get that a lot.
Yeah, that's who you remind me of in that picture. Like almost like party time. Yeah. It's such a cute picture. I remember getting it, and I was like, Adam, is your hair long there, Adam? You know?
I could show you pictures. My hair used to be like down to my shoulders almost.
Yeah, Kurt Cobain a little bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was super skinny.
Yeah. You can't tell. I mean, seriously, between the two of you guys, I'm sure if you guys hid behind one tree, you guys wouldn't even be able to be seen.
I mean, because I'm 6 foot tall, and I think I was probably like 135 pounds there.
Yeah, no need to go.
I probably weigh 150 now.
TMI.
Maybe 155.
Yeah, soaking wet, right? What time is it? It's 5:35. Hey. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry, guys. Oh, I almost had like anxiety. I was like, "Where's my vape?" Found it. You know, these things suck. They're really good, but they suck. Let me tell you why they suck. Because they suck. Yeah, get it? Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why these things suck. Because I used to be a smoker up until a year and a half ago. Yeah. And I ended up in the hospital, eh? And so I was too lazy to go down to the first floor and out the door because of the C word happening going on. And so I decided that forget it, I'm just gonna quit. And then I said to my husband, I'm gonna go, try out one of these things. Now, first I was like, put it down. This thing would last me like a week just for one little pod, if not 2 weeks. And then I got to really enjoy these things because you could just take them wherever you go. You could have them in your hand. You could do it in the house, and there's not even a smell, a very little smell, and the smell that it does tastes good, in a sense. And so this thing is not good because it's like usually like, it's like my cell phone. Where's my cell? Well, my cell phone doesn't usually go because if I leave the house, but you know what I'm saying? Your cell phone usually goes everywhere. But anyways, so this little sucker right here, yeah, it's just like, I can just sit here. My husband, it doesn't bug my husband. My husband's never smoked. He's never done anything in his life. He barely drinks as it is and stuff like that. He's a good man. I'll tell you that already about for the 100th time. But anyways, so yeah, it's like, it's almost like my friend. And all of a sudden I put it down and I couldn't see it for a second. And I'm like, where are you? Where are you, friend? Anyways.
You found it? What flavor is that?
Just regular nicotine.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't like. I've never smoked the vape thing,
no,
but I don't like the way like the real fruity ones smell.
You know what?
You can clip that for anyone that wants a soundbite.
Yeah, right. I had purchased back a few years ago with like $300 worth of this vape juice for a different container, and honestly, I didn't like the vape thing, and it just sat there, and I finally just gave them to these people at my work, not, like 6 months ago or something. Maybe, no, it must have been longer than that. But anyways, about 6 months ago. But anyways, I love fruit, and I love the smell of fruit. But in these things, no thank you. Like sometimes, but no thank you.
Right.
Just give me my nicotine, okay? I don't need no, fruit berry-licious or, bubble-licious or cranberry, freaking blueberry, mangarine or tangerine.
Watermelon sugar.
Yeah, watermelon sugar. Hi, yeah, no. Okay.
Is the music going to go off? Is the music going to go off?
Oh, yeah. Why? Oh, did somebody donate?
Yeah, Marietta, thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness. Where is she? It will go off. That's the one. I'm a little drunk. I need to be drunk.
Marietta Rosser super chat. $3 Canadian. Thank you.
You know what? Yeah, you guys, let's have it.
Canadian.
Yeah, I don't even need coffees. Just get. You know what? I'm just gonna put it out there. I just need a vape juice fund. Okay. Yeah. Support my habit for nicotine. Yeah. No.
And then you better look out. Ray's moving to Canada.
No. Well, you guys. Okay. So send me money instead to build a barricade so that Ray doesn't get into Canada. Okay.
Ray. I've heard the fishing is great off of Vancouver. You should probably move into Sonny's building.
Well, the Atlantic fishing, the Atlantic people will always boast their fishing.
You should go to the Pacific side, Ray.
You know what? In fact, just dunk your head in the water, and if you don't come up, I'm so sorry. It means that a shark got you. Yeah, can't help it. If that's the way that, according to Steffa, the world's coming on. And if it happens to be by Jaws, and the Jaws somehow swallows you up whole, can't help it.
Which that actually brings us back to the point. I know because I know you've got somewhere to be shortly, but we were talking about the balloon that China had put up that was then taken down.
Not really talking about that one.
Over off the coast of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is only about 2 hours from where I live. And I was joking. I was like, well, it probably wasn't the worst thing that washed up on the shore south of Myrtle Beach, but
Ray's probably going, how many of these little
Ray's up further north, and because Ray's on the coast of North Carolina, but
look, but It did look like the same packaging that one might use.
Yeah.
You know, leave it for China to do that, you know? Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm just going to just check our green status.
Oh, did you see? Look, Ray's flirting with you, Sonny.
Who's flirting with me? I appreciate.
Ray. He said it when Steve's not home.
You could never hold a candle to my husband.
Then she'll what? You'll do the dishes for Sonny?
I will figure out the coffees.
He can be your houseboy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you already have one of those. It's your brother-in-law.
Yeah. Huh. Right. Adam, do you have us all on a list?
What kind of list?
Yeah, what kind of list? What kind of list? 1-900 list? No problem. We'll just give you Deb's phone number. You don't even have to go on a list. Right, Deb?
Yeah, I have a list of anyone that says anything negative about me.
That's a long list. Imagine what mine must look like.
Not as long as yours.
No. Right. I at least have. Oh, I got a pretty good list of haters for sure. Most people, first of all, can't handle strong women. They can't handle women. Some men, and they can't handle the fact that I just block them because they said an ignorant comment.
Sonny.
What? This is a two-handle. It's embarrassing. Also.
See, is that a 3-wick? A 3-wick?
Yeah, I don't put up with people's crap. I don't.
Speaking of politics, the State of the Union address is tonight.
See, I could care less about that. What is that anyway?
Well, you don't live here.
I know. So what is it? Gotta go. Bye, Marietta.
Thank you, and Marietta. Thank you for the super chat or super sticker.
Oh yeah. And again, for anyone that does want to buy us a coffee, except for Ray Jones, the coffee app and to get to follow us on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or whatever, that's all in the description of this video. It's in every video.
You know what? Two-handle candle, Ray. Put your money where your mouth is.
You know, the thing is that this is what I kind of love about men, besides my husband, because I love my husband so much. But most men couldn't handle me if they tried, to be honest with you. Nope. They could not. Someone like Ray Jones, I'd be up one side of him and down the other so fast his head would spin. And he'd be begging to be back out in that ocean. He'd be like, no. Yeah, I know, Ray, that's coming off feisty and it's turning you on and stuff. You just got to stop, get over it. Anyways, I always laugh about stuff like that because I'm just that person.
Look, Deb timed Ray out and deleted a message of his. What was that?
Oh, really? I didn't even do anything. And then a threat, my virus blocker popped up.
Oh, I heard it. I was like, what was that?
Yeah, it was my virus blocker protecting me.
That's funny.
I'm like, what did I even do?
Poor Ray. He gets a bad rap. I like Ray.
Do. No, I know. He's all
He's all talk. Yeah. All bark, no bite.
Did she really time him out?
She did.
Who did
for 300 seconds. So you've got about 250 seconds left of Ray.
Who's your wrench now, Ray?
So everyone, there's 240 seconds left of Ray not talking.
And then we're gonna end the live. See you, Ray. Hey, there's the coffee app. There we go. See, perfect time. And Marietta, that's how you use it. Right there. That thing. It says, buy me a whole lot of love and a coffee. Actually, Ryan bought me vanilla coffee yesterday from Tim Hortons, which is my brother-in-law, by the way.
Yeah.
You know it, but not everybody else knows
So he's lived in your living room for a year now. That's equal now.
Yeah, he has that. Yeah, it's totally a bedroom with its own little curtains that close and everything. Yeah, I love you, right? Deb. I like how Deb lies when you can't probably see what she's saying.
I think she came on the other night just so she could hit me.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
It took all of like 5 seconds for her to be like, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, yeah, we're gonna head off here because I have just asked Lewis and Sunny. We're gonna stream it again. And this will be a little bit better week, I'm thinking. Last week was
Better
a
be
little bit
careful.
rough.
You better be careful because when you come to monetize your channel with Just Ask Sunny and Lewis, they'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
you've used other people's content.
Yeah, right. I know. It's so silly. But yeah, so Just Ask Lewis and Sunny will start at 6:30 again for Deb, specifically for Deb. I'm going to go with you over how to, if you're a YouTube creator or want to become a YouTube creator, probably more for those ones that want to become, and you just don't know how to really do it or whatever. I'm just going to show you how to use StreamYard in conjunction with YouTube Studio. Again, if a monkey can do it, so can you. And this is a very simplistic program, StreamYard. It's one of the ones most widely used.
The number one. It's the number one streaming.
It is because a monkey can use it. And if a monkey can use it, it means you guys can use it that are scared because it's very easy. So that's going to be on Just Ask Lewis and Sunny. And that's going to start at 6:30 my time, so 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And again, we want to say we'll say thank you to the Drunk Turkey Show for last night. Thank you. And that the people that subscribed to Adam and helped Adam out. Now, so apparently YouTube is saying, hey, Adam, we're not going to monetize you yet because what's the word we want to call it? What's that word when you...
Reused content.
Reused content. Even though Adam's on this channel and we were streaming from his channel
at the same time. Yeah.
But anyway, so apparently that's not going to count. So he's going to appeal it, but he's probably not going to win for that matter. But anyways, so besides watching any of the live streams, if you guys could go watch Adam some of his videos, because at the end of the day, Adam won't be able to reapply till March 9th if they reject his appeal, which they probably will, knowing YouTube. And that's why we always have to say these little fancy, dancy, farty little names instead of the real words, unaliving and stuff like that instead of the M word. But anyways, so if you guys, in a sense, like getting ahead of the game, can watch, just hit play. I don't even care if you don't listen to it, just hit play, right? I mean, I can understand that if Adam makes you fall asleep too, but and then of course Deb has her channel, Deb's True Crime Notebook, and so Deb of course is going to drop her link. And if you guys haven't subscribed to Deb and you're watching this channel, please go over and subscribe to Deb. Deb, as you guys know, was on the It's a Crime and Shame show, and Deb's working on building up her channel as well. And that's the joy of it too. You know, is like even with Adam, you know, like he'll find the enjoyment in creating some of his own. You know, like I know he does already, but you know, when you truly kind of get your feet wet into it, you really do start enjoying creating it, and you don't got bossy Sunny telling you what to do. You know.
Who? Wait, who? Wait, Michaela, I want to say really quickly, Lisa set the going price for that, and it's $100 in donations.
That was true, right? Yeah. So, Michaela, if you could just, just 99.99 will do the trick too.
Got to pay to play.
We're not fussy. Yeah.
And I'm going to give Ray an award for the best comeback after being timed out.
What did he say?
Y'all won't like Deb's channel. That's a good comeback.
Hey, there's Triple D. Triple D.
Who wrenched Ray?
Nobody. Good fight. Maybe is that what I got my block for? Ray was using a hack on me or something like that.
And then Ray said, Adam, will you tell Deb she's on ignore?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Ivy. So Ivy, just to say, our expectation is that tomorrow we'll do a live about this. Are you game? Yeah. Because the live tomorrow for Wednesday, and then we'll be telling you about our different nights that we'll be doing lives on tomorrow night once we figure it out our proper ourselves. I'm fixing all the links right now. So tomorrow night's live will be about all the CSAM that's been going on prior to Keegan Klein being arrested and the ones after, because you know that a lot of those ones are linked to the Keegan Klein ring going on. So Ivy had brought up that and asked us, if we want to talk about that. I think a lot of people will be curious, especially that live in Indiana, to all the CSAMs that happened where people were arrested before and after. So we'll check with Ivy on that and confirm with her. And then we'll do that live. I'm laughing so hard, eh? Yeah. There's so much you guys will have to help me out. Put it in a pretty box so that it makes sense. No, Ivy, I don't got time for that.
I mean,
Adam does.
We tried to help Michael, so we can help you.
It was so funny. So actually, I don't even want to talk about the loser.
No.
Nope. Anyways, yeah. I honestly forget these people exist until somebody brings it up.
I know.
So
you got to be at Just Ask Lewis and Sunny in 30 minutes. I guess I'll just watch TV.
Well, let me put it this way.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's nothing going to interest you, so you're uninvited. Okay.
I don't know how to use StreamYard.
Yeah, and that's why you can watch it.
I mean, I do know how to use StreamYard.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know how to use StreamYard. In fact, you're just probably going to put out another video. That's what you should be doing.
Lewis doesn't know how to use StreamYard. I do.
I know. That's why he's a good person to watch it. Yeah. I do need some mods at some point. Ooh.
I don't know anyone, Deb.
I was going to say, Clueless here. Clueless in Canada. Well, if Copper Horse is sneakily watching this, Michaela, just ask Copper Horse. I've seen her donations. In fact, Copper Horse last year for mine and my husband's anniversary, and Copper Horse knows this, she donated $269.69. Thank you very much. I still remember that because I was like, dang, as soon as it hit the screen. Now, YouTube, of course, took 30% of that. That was fine. It was the fact that it was 69. Anyone that knows me and this channel knows 69. Now, that doesn't mean be cheap, Ray, because, well, actually, let's not even talk about it. That doesn't mean be cheap, Grizz, and send us $1.69 donation. Make sure you get a couple zeros in there, when you do decide to win at gambling. Okay. The Communist Party has assured the world leaders that a massive fleet of the Chinese. Wait, is he being a smartass or is this true?
It might be true. I don't know though.
Tony, are you being a smartass there?
Tony's over there in New Zealand. He might not know. Not sure.
I feel like
Austin, you're not volatile.
I'm too volatile to be a mod. One day
you'll wake up and I'll be in Greeno's chat.
Ooh. You just had to bring that name up, didn't you?
Austin, I thought we had something going here, but it's done. You're out.
So, yeah, it sounds like sarcasm to me.
Oh, Ray, you'll be right at home.
Yeah. I'm thinking about joining you, Austin. I'm sure that Greeno will need.
Ray will be over there.
I think that you would be one of Greeno's top-notch mods. If there's anybody that can block people, it'll be you. Because I know you won't put up with anything. You'll put up with, Greeno. You won't put up with that. And don't forget, you guys, okay, fine. I'm going to touch on this just for a quick second. It was enough to make me hurl when I was reading it, but there is a post that was put out there from his Facebook that said, of course, he is making a comeback, that he is sorry for his actions, and he's always tried to be the best person that he go ahead, Adam, possibly could be. I know. And of course,
that's further than I made it.
I know. I didn't even read it all yet.
I have not even.
I was already struck by the bullshit by the first couple of lines, and I wanted to carry on, but I couldn't. I was like, do I dare read more of this? Am I going to buy into it? Am I going to fall for those antics yet again? No.
Did I miss something that Aunt Clara said?
No, what did Aunt Clara say? What did Aunt Clara say? They said
the first part of it, though.
Huh, Clara.
I don't know what you're talking about because I didn't read the first.
See, well, right.
No idea. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Aunt Clara.
Oh, yeah, right. Ray, exactly. Oh, I bet she's already like shaving her.
Yeah. Wait, why am I not seeing that? Where did he say? I think I was. What did Ray say? Oh, I seen that. I seen that name. I seen that name in Sleuth's chat yesterday.
I was thinking of Holly Lowry.
Oh,
and I was like, she's probably shaving her nooks and crannies.
Well, no, but I seen that name and I was like, oh, I'm sure that name's gonna make it right into that. So, anyways,
nooks and crannies is a fine word.
You know, to anyone ever watching this live that comes across this, and I know that Mel from Cold Truth, if anyone ever wants to know the truth about Anthony Greeno, you guys know better and you guys are smarter than to believe that he's going to use that same tactic of he's going to become a better person, that he did his time and he's paid for his, okay? And that how was he to know worldwide that he'd be such a success in YouTube land? And, but so sadly that YouTube removed his channel. Oh, those 18K subs.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Well, he said that about how he became worldwide. Talking about stroking your own ego, dude. He's probably actually watching this right now, to be honest with you. You come at me, boy. You come at me in all different ways. All I can tell you guys is, you guys, do yourself a favor and be smart enough to know a con when you hear a con, smell a con, see a con. Okay? If anyone wants to be falsely, okay?
If it doesn't smell fresh, don't put it in your mouth.
Yeah. It's for all these new chicks that have no clue. He just thinks he can open up his mouth, smile, and again, if you guys can't smell that stuff right away, you guys need some help there. So I'm helping you out right now by just letting you know you'd be advised to not fall for those same old antics that he always uses that are so laughable. Praise Jesus. Hopefully he's changed.
Right. I said a prayer for him.
Yeah, you said a prayer for him last night. That counts. That lasts at least a good 10 days. But yeah, so my prayers are to you people. Don't be suckers and don't fall for it. And it's just going to be the same old stuff. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be funny because there's going to be a couple channels out there that are going to be, welcome back, buddy. Hey, girls, how you doing, old friend? Hey, and there's another channel. This is going to be actually quite comical to see, but yet by the same token, it's comical because, it's you know what? Again, it's really, I hate to say this, but there's certain channels out there that we will always let you know that these are trash channels. The trash channels we deem as the ones that are always trying to hurt other channels on purpose and with intent, even if they don't know the channel. They just simply feel like they're doing their due justice of bringing to your attention that other people, and it's always them pointing the fingers at other people all the time. So, channels that we deem as those ones that try to hurt people, those are the ones we'll bring to your attention. Why? Because for the benefit of yourself, but you can go join whoever you want, because some people aren't aware of those channels. And again, either you're here to lift people up and you're trying to help people, or you continue to try to bash creators and you continually to slander, use racial slurs, all these things. Those ones will make you aware about. Those ones will let you know about. Greeno falls right into that category of don't be fooled by deception. Okay. He uses females and basically he will target you guys to make you seem like
he's manipulated men too.
Yeah, he manipulated
and swindled money out of men too as well.
Yep. And we just pass it along. It's one thing to be a creator and create some garbage, and who cares, whatever. But it's another thing that you make your channel to try to hurt and impact other people. And I'm just not gonna sit by and let those ones go, not be brought into the attention. I usually just ignore most of those things that go on, but knowing that he is back, knowing that he is out, don't fall for it, guys. That same stuff that he spews is the same stuff he'll spew to everybody, okay? It's the trait. He's a narcissist, absolutely. He's a poor me syndrome victim. All you have to do is Google his name, and you can look at the plethora of Google searches about, yeah. His real name is actually Renee Anthony Greeno, but he uses Anthony.
To cap that off, Sonny, keep it Southern style.
No, I'm keeping it Northern style. So you come at me Southern style, because I'll take you Northern style.
I'll keep it Southern style.
Okay.
Richard Allen.
And next time I see you, I want media on that hat as well.
Right.
Or
Richard Allen, why did you go?
Okay. Enough
Sorry.
time.
We need to go.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So 6:30 is the Just Ask Lewis and Sunny Pacific Standard Time. You keep it Northern style. Keep it Northern style. Yeah. Melissa. Right? Yeah, it's, I can't even go there, to be honest with you. As soon as KK hears Greeno is out, he'll be chirping him, try to tell him. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, hey.
I could say something, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I was going to say, until further notice, that the name is not going to come out of our mouth again, until further notice, okay? Again.
You mean Deb's name?
But it's just fair warning. Fair warning.
Yeah.
Any channel that wants to be, just don't associate yourself with that channel. If you want to lose respect for your channel, in a sense, because that's exactly what will happen. You'll get up in the mix of drama and different stuff like that. Don't do it to yourselves. Just stay clear. Stay clear of the trash. Yeah. Okay, guys? All right. So, yes. Thank you, guys. It's so embarrassing at the start of this video. I said it's going to be a short live. And then I said I can't even believe my own words. All right. Wasn't a short live. I lied once again.
Grandma Watches called us out and she said short live plus 2 hours. And she was exactly right.
Yeah. It's going to be a circus. Always is. Just, we just got to stay focused. Go our direction. And as the turd comes along, you just go scoop, scoop. Oop, there you go. Back where you belong. Anyways.
I hope the best for everyone.
Okay. Bye, guys. Don't forget to give a like and a share. And if you're not subscribed to Adam's channel or Deb's channel, please consider subscribing.
And you'll see Sunny and Lewis. I guess not me.
25 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.